If you remember the pure excitement of October nights in the 1990s, rushing home from school to catch Nickelodeon's Halloween programming, you experienced something that modern kids will never understand. The magic of appointment television that made Halloween feel like it lasted an entire month instead of just one night. From 1990 to 2004, Nickelodeon didn't just show Halloween episodes, they created an entire seasonal experience that transformed October into the most anticipated month of the year for kids. Special episodes, themed marathons, exclusive content, and programming blocks that made every night feel like Halloween night. But here's what most people don't realize. Not all Nickelodeon Halloween lineups were created equal. Some years were good, some were great, but there was one specific year that achieved Halloween perfection so complete, so magical, that it has never been matched by any network before or since. So what was the best Nickelodeon Halloween lineup ever? Which year created the perfect storm of classic shows, special episodes, and seasonal programming that made October feel like the most wonderful time of the year? And why did this particular lineup capture the essence of Halloween in a way that no other programming block has ever managed to replicate? The answer isn't what you think, because what made the ultimate Nickelodeon Halloween lineup wasn't just about the individual episodes or shows at all. It was about three elements of seasonal programming magic that came together in one perfect year, creating an October experience so memorable that people still talk about it decades later. But before we reveal which year achieved Halloween perfection, we need to understand just how seriously Nickelodeon took Halloween programming during their golden age. To understand what made the best Nickelodeon Halloween lineup ever, we need to go back to 1990, when the network first discovered that Halloween programming wasn't just about showing scary episodes. It was about creating an entire seasonal atmosphere that made kids feel like they were living inside a month-long Halloween celebration. Nickelodeon in the early 90s understood something that other networks missed. Halloween wasn't just a single night for kids, it was a season of anticipation, excitement, and the delicious thrill of being scared in a safe, fun way. The network began producing special Halloween episodes for all their major shows, creating themed programming blocks, and developing original Halloween content that you couldn't see anywhere else on television. Shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark became appointment television that kids would plan their entire week around. Rugrats' Halloween episodes explored the holiday from a baby's perspective in ways that were both hilarious and surprisingly sophisticated. Hey Arnold created Halloween episodes that captured the urban trick-or-treating experience with perfect authenticity. I remember the feeling of walking home from school in October, seeing the autumn leaves and Halloween decorations, knowing that Nickelodeon had something special planned for that evening. The anticipation was almost as exciting as the actual programming. But what made Nickelodeon's Halloween programming so special wasn't just the individual episodes, it was how they created an entire seasonal experience that made October feel magical. The network would start building Halloween excitement in late September with promos, special bumpers, and themed graphics that transformed the entire channel into a Halloween wonderland. By the time October arrived, every aspect of Nickelodeon felt haunted, spooky, and perfectly seasonal. And then came the year that achieved Halloween perfection, 1999. The first element that made 1999's Halloween lineup legendary was the perfect combination of classic shows at their creative peak. By 1999, Nickelodeon had assembled the greatest collection of Halloween-capable shows in television history. Are You Afraid of the Dark was in its prime, producing some of the most memorable and genuinely scary episodes ever created for children's television. Rugrats was at the height of its popularity and creativity. Hey Arnold was delivering sophisticated urban storytelling. The Amanda Bynes Show was showcasing brilliant sketch comedy. And SpongeBob SquarePants had just premiered, bringing fresh energy to the network. But here's what made 1999 so special. Every single one of these shows produced Halloween episodes that were among their very best work. Are You Afraid of the Dark delivered The Tale of the Midnight Madness, an episode so genuinely terrifying and well-crafted that it's still considered one of the greatest children's horror episodes ever produced. Rugrats gave us Curse of the Werewolf, which perfectly captured the way Halloween feels when you're too young to understand what's real and what's pretend. Hey Arnold produced Ghost Bride, an episode that combined urban legends, genuine scares, and emotional depth in ways that respected both the holiday and the audience. Even SpongeBob contributed with Scaredy Pants, introducing the character's Halloween persona in an episode that would become a seasonal classic. This wasn't just a collection of Halloween episodes. This was a showcase of creative excellence where every show brought their A-game to celebrate the season. But the second element that made 1999's lineup legendary was the programming strategy that created the perfect Halloween viewing experience. Instead of just randomly scheduling Halloween episodes throughout October, Nickelodeon in 1999 created a carefully orchestrated month-long celebration that built anticipation and delivered payoffs in exactly the right sequence. The month began with lighter, funnier Halloween episodes that got kids excited for the season. The middle weeks featured the classic Are You Afraid of the Dark? Episodes that provided genuine scares. And the final week leading up to Halloween delivered the most special, most anticipated content that made Halloween night feel like the culmination of a month-long celebration. But here's what made the programming strategy so brilliant. Nickelodeon understood that different kids wanted different levels of Halloween intensity, so they provided options for everyone while still creating a cohesive seasonal experience. Younger kids could enjoy the Rugrats and SpongeBob Halloween episodes without being too scared. Older kids could seek out the genuinely frightening Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes. And everyone could come together for the special programming events that made certain nights feel like television holidays. I remember planning my entire October schedule around Nickelodeon's Halloween programming. I'd mark my calendar with the special episodes, arrange sleepovers around the scariest Are You Afraid of the Dark nights, and feel genuine excitement about what the network had planned for each evening. But the third and most important element that made 1999's Halloween lineup legendary was something that can never be replicated: perfect cultural timing. 1999 was the last year of the 20th century, and there was something magical about experiencing Halloween during this transitional moment in history. Y2K anxiety was building, the internet was emerging but hadn't yet changed how kids consumed media, and there was a sense that childhood itself was about to change forever. This created a perfect storm where kids were more invested in traditional television experiences because they sensed, even if they couldn't articulate it, that this kind of shared cultural moment might not last much longer. Halloween 1999 felt like the culmination of everything that had made 90s childhood special. The shows were at their creative peak, the programming was perfectly orchestrated, and there was a collective understanding that we were experiencing something genuinely magical. And here's what made 1999's Halloween lineup so emotionally powerful. It represented the last time that Halloween programming could create a truly universal childhood experience. Before cable fragmentation, before streaming services, before kids had individual screens and personalized content, Nickelodeon's Halloween lineup created a shared cultural moment where millions of children across the country were experiencing the same scares, the same laughs, and the same seasonal magic at exactly the same time. The Monday after Halloween 1999, every kid in America had watched the same episodes, experienced the same scares, and participated in the same seasonal celebration. This created playground conversations, shared references, and a sense of cultural unity that simply doesn't exist in today's fragmented media landscape. But what really made 1999's Halloween lineup the best ever was how it balanced nostalgia with innovation in perfect proportion. The lineup included classic Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes that had already become legendary, giving longtime viewers the comfort of familiar scares and beloved stories. But it also featured brand new content from shows like SpongeBob that brought fresh energy and new perspectives to Halloween programming. This combination of the familiar and the new created a Halloween experience that satisfied both nostalgia and the desire for discovery, making October 1999 feel both comfortingly traditional and excitingly innovative. And here's what made the experience so memorable. Every element worked together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. The autumn weather was perfect that year, creating the ideal atmospheric backdrop for Halloween programming. The shows were all at their creative peaks, delivering their best Halloween content. The programming strategy was flawlessly executed, building anticipation and delivering payoffs in perfect sequence. And the cultural moment was exactly right, creating a shared experience that felt both special and universal. Looking back now, it's clear that 1999 represented the absolute pinnacle of what Halloween programming could achieve when everything aligned perfectly. The combination of creative excellence, strategic programming, and cultural timing created a Halloween experience so complete and satisfying that it has never been matched by any network since. Sure, there have been good Halloween lineups since 1999. Nickelodeon and other networks have produced quality Halloween content in subsequent years, but none have achieved the perfect storm of elements that made October 1999 feel like the ultimate Halloween celebration. Modern Halloween programming faces challenges that didn't exist in 1999. Fragmented audiences, streaming competition, shorter attention spans, and the loss of appointment television culture. Kids today have access to more Halloween content than ever before, but they'll never experience the collective anticipation and shared cultural moment that made 1999's lineup so special. But for those of us who lived through October 1999, we know we experienced something genuinely magical. The perfect Halloween lineup that captured everything wonderful about the season and delivered it with creative excellence, strategic brilliance, and perfect timing. The best Nickelodeon Halloween lineup ever wasn't just about the shows or the episodes. It was about creating a seasonal experience so complete and satisfying that it made Halloween feel like it lasted an entire month, and every night of that month felt like a celebration. And honestly, in a world where Halloween programming is scattered across dozens of platforms and kids consume content individually rather than collectively, maybe we need to remember what 1999's Halloween lineup represented: the magical idea that the best seasonal programming could bring an entire generation together to share the same scares, the same laughs, and the same sense of Halloween wonder. What are your favorite memories from Nickelodeon's Halloween programming? Did you experience that perfect October 1999 lineup? Or do you have a different year that felt magical to you? Share your Halloween nostalgia in the comments. I'd love to hear about the episodes and moments that made October feel special during your childhood. If this brought back memories of those perfect October nights, please subscribe to the channel and check out the videos on your screen. There's so much more nostalgic seasonal programming history to explore together.